What's going on, guys? This is Search Sketch Project, episode 12. So as always, before we get started, I would like to thank all new subscribers. Truly appreciate the support. So today, guys, it's going to be a special episode. I have decided to collab with one of my promoters here on YouTube, aka Dimps. She requested for me to draw her portrait, and of course, for sure, I gladly oblige. I'm gonna be honest with you guys though, I'm not big on portraits. I draw comics, cartoons, so I hope I didn't do too bad, and I hope you guys like it, especially for her fans on VIGO. Hope you guys like it. So guys, make sure you watch the video till the end. And if you have any suggestions or comments for the next collaboration sketch for your idols, or even fan art, just leave a comment on the comment section below and I'll make sure and read through it. So without further ado, let's begin. As I've said on the last video, we are going to focus on another origin story, but this time it's for the Golem. So on this episode, I will illustrate how the Golem has gotten captured, imprisoned, and how he was enslaved by the humans. So in this panel, and you may have already noticed, the Golem is all chained up and surrounded by soldiers. This is the part where he struggles to break free, but to no avail. It is because of the chains that are lashed onto his body. It is laced with paralyzing magic, crippling the Golem. These soldiers are the ones surrounding and subjugating the Golem. They are equipped with heavy armor infused with anti-mystic magics. These human regiment soldiers are highly trained in the art of war and combat. Artificial genetics and cybernetic body enhancements are used to create these warriors. In other words, they are born inside a laboratory, engineered by human scientists to be the perfect human soldiers. So before we dive deeper into the story, for those of you who have watched Search Sketch Project since the beginning, the Golem's appearance may be a little different. These events happened before the Golem has been experimented on by humans. And this is what the Golem looked like in his natural form. But as you can see, his appearance has drastically changed, forged into a weapon for humanity, and has only one purpose: to exterminate all mystical creatures and monsters. So going back to this comic panel, here's a little side story for the human faction. There's a demented dark side in genetically engineering the super soldiers. These soldiers that are relentlessly pursuing the Golem are lobotomized clones and only run on instinct and cybernetic brain implants. They're all interconnected in a vast network, connected like a hive mind, controlled by a single patriarch. The DNA used to engineer these clones came from the same patriarch, allowing all clones to have perfect synchronization to accomplish any mission with 100% accuracy. Each human faction has 4 patriarchs and divided into 4 divisions. These are the 4 divisions. First division, guerrilla warfare. Second division, assassinations. Third division, covert and espionage. And last but not the least, the Headhunter division. Which brings us back to this comic panel. These soldiers are a part of the Headhunter division. They specialize in subduing and capturing their targets. The Golem didn't stand a chance against an organized militant group. Golems are known for their endurance and their unmeasurable strength. It can easily crush these soldiers into a bloody pulp. But as I've said earlier, these chains are laced with paralyzing magic. The more it struggles, the quicker it gets paralyzed. This tactical division that specializes in head hunting will pursue their targets, dead or alive. Now moving on to the next panel. Here I will illustrate the Golem as a captive. After it was paralyzed, immediately finds itself restrained inside a prison cell. Looking out the small window, confusion sets in. The Golem's memory is wiped clean, and all that it remembers is a life of servitude to the humans. This, once again, is a result of human corruption after the golem's inevitable subjugation, tortured and brainwashed into a slave. Branching off the topic for a little bit, as far as going further into the dark side of humanity, what seemingly is a deep hatred against mystical creatures and monsters goes deep within the history books of humans and written by their ancestors, descendants, the present human faction. Are parables and teachings with four major aspects. The first quote, dominion is survival. The second quote, dominion is salvation. The third quote, dominion is hope. And the fourth quote, dominion or death. A vast majority of humanity would follow these teachings like a Bible, and it is also embedded in every brain implant in all the human infantry division. Now moving on to the third panel. In this scene, I'm going to illustrate the golem as a slave to explain the situation. As far as humanity is concerned, the advancement of science and technology will always be the top priority. And in order to do this, they need an abundant source of minerals. And so the excavation and mining for precious ores, metals, and rare alloys has begun. Halfway through the endless mining, the excavation team has come across an underground temple. These temples are built by subterranean ancient mystics known as the Duende. Duendes are known for their lust of gold, and so they would fill their temples with stolen treasures and artifacts. For the humans, this is a sight to behold. With their greed, they could not resist the temptation, and so they started to loot every treasure they can find. It was a bountiful loot, with only one major consequence. The moment they entered the caverns, they were being watched. The Duende are very territorial in nature. They do not tolerate trespassers and anyone who would dare steal their treasures, and so they casted curse magics to the invading humans. Curse magics are somewhat similar to voodoo magic. All of a sudden, one by one, the excavation team is screaming in agony as their bodies are covered in boils, warts, infections, and all kinds of skin disease. Needless to say, the mining has stopped and they all evacuated. With the curse magic in full effect, there was no way for any human to enter those caverns. This is where the golem comes into play. The Human Espionage Division have been dispatched to observe these subterranean mystics. The espionage team has discovered a symbiotic relationship between the Duende and the golem. They found out that the Duende would barter with the golems to dig their caverns and tunnels. In return, they would give the golem precious ores and metals, the same minerals humans needed. And so this crucial information was quickly passed to the Headhunter Division, making golems the primary target for capture, brainwash, slavery to do humanity's dirty work. And so moving on to the last panel, I am going to illustrate a group of scientists observing the golem through a video monitor. An established gentleman is scrubbing his beard, lost inside his thoughts of how to use the golem after years of slavery. His name is Professor Edward Legaspi. He is the head of scientific research and development for military-grade experimental weapons and the top scientist in the human faction. After 2 years of being a slave for humanity, the golem's memory is starting to return, and lately it's acting violent and showing signs of resistance. Humans are very swift in their judgment, especially when it comes to mystical creatures and monsters. And so the golem was ordered for execution. Whether it was an act of kindness or for his own gain, Professor Legaspi decided to take the golem in his research facility. Within the walls of said facility, Professor Legaspi, together with a group of renowned scientists, will perform research and experimentations on the golem. This would be the turning point of the golem's origin story. And that's the end of the episode, guys. Thanks again, guys, for watching the video. Apologies about the late upload. Things happen and sometimes life gets in the way. Okay, so here's the moment you've been waiting for all you Dimple fans out there. And once again, I can't thank you enough for all the new subscribers. And if you haven't already, please feel free to click on the subscribe button. And if you like the video, don't forget to leave a like. Again, if you have any suggestions for future collabs with your idols or fan art, anything that I can draw for you guys, feel free to leave it on the comment section. And if I can draw it, why not? And that is it. See you on the next one. Later, guys.